FBI and Homeland Security warning Americans to be extra vigilant in the wake of the deadly shootings of 16 Afghan civilians. Chad Sweet has worked for both the CIA and the Department of Homeland Security, where he was chief of staff. He's also the founder and managing principal of the Chertoff Group. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So the FBI sent out this warning on Friday that we should be wary of possible homegrown violence here at home due to the rising tensions in Afghanistan. And of course, the Taliban has also specifically warned of retribution for the killings of those Afghans by a rogue U.S. sergeant. So what exactly is the U.S. doing to protect us here at home?
Well, the FBI and DHS are leaning forward. They've already issued a bulletin to state and local law enforcement to heighten awareness and vigilance, as well as calling on the public to participate in reporting any suspicious activity. And for those who are watching today, if you do witness any activity that is suspicious, please report it to either 911 or tips.fbi.com. And we've seen historically in a number of plots, citizen reports have been absolutely instrumental in disrupting such homegrown terrorist plots.
Yeah, when we talk about suspicious activity, what specifically should we be looking out for?
Well, in this case, one of the unfortunate things is when these types of events happen abroad in military action, they can spark retaliation against domestic military facilities, and we've seen this in the past. For example, with the Fort Hood plot, which was the worst single attack on U.S. soil since 9/11, where 13 were killed and 29 wounded, or in the case of the Fort Dick 6 plot, which was disrupted, or the Arkansas recruiting station where one private was killed and one was wounded, or most recently last June with the Seattle recruiting station plot disrupted. These are all examples of military facilities that are targeted. So in particular, we need citizens and security officials to be vigilant around military bases, which are the most likely targets of retaliation should someone be mobilized to attack.
And there does seem to be some mobilization going on right now. In addition to these killings, there's still the fallout from the accidental burning of Korans. So how can these tensions be eased? How can we curb this anti-American sentiment?
Well, in the long run, this is a battle for the hearts and minds of those out there that might be susceptible to this perverted, violent extremist philosophy. And so you're exactly right. Long term, we have absolutely got to deal with winning over those hearts and minds through community engagement. When I was in the Bush administration, we had a forum called the Incident Management Team. We worked very closely with the FBI and the local American Muslim community leaders. And anytime there was an incident like this, we would convene a nationwide forum, ask for support from the leaders in the community to report any suspicious activity. And we'd also inform them on the facts of what we knew, and we'd also offer to investigate any kind of or discriminatory action against them if there was blowback. So it's that kind of trusted partnership between American Muslim community leaders and law enforcement that is absolutely critical. And unfortunately, right now, we're witnessing a perfect storm, as you said, against us, whether it's the inadvertent burning of the Quran, these regrettable videos of Marines urinating on Afghan militant dead, or this latest incident and the conspiracy theories that are growing around it being more than just a single actor. This is, unfortunately for the Obama administration, an absolute perfect storm in the war of ideas to defeat this extremist philosophy.
Yeah, so what about in Afghanistan itself, where there is growing anger about the U.S. presence there? How should the U.S. be reacting to that?
Well, I think they're reacting appropriately, which is to immediately denounce this. The President, the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of State have all renounced it, and they've also said, though, that they're not going to let this disrupt our long-term strategy. However, I think one of the implications that we'll see is, just like in Iraq, where the status of U.S. forces post our long-term withdrawal, we typically, in any arrangement, whether it was post-war Germany, post-war Japan, etc., we require our military to have immunity in those locations. And so, unfortunately, this incident will, there are calls right now for this soldier, Sergeant Robert Bales to be prosecuted in Afghanistan. We will not allow that to happen, and that will be a source of tension. So the breakdown of talks in Iraq that ultimately led to our inability to leave forces behind was as a result of immunity, and I think you'll see that here in this case as well, that you can expect that this will be a very difficult issue in the days ahead.
All right, Chad Sweet of the Chertoff Group, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.